That's a funny trip, that.
Thank you.
Much garlanded. Smothered in honours, and since last I saw you, how are you coping?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm in it for the awards. I'm like Muttley from Dick Dastardly. Medals. I can do like the money and the fame. I just want the awards. They look great. Yeah. I mean, until then, I thought the biggest thing that had happened to me was being on this show. But that was even... No, I did. I thought that was the highlight of my career last time. I remember all I was worried about was coming down the stairs and not falling over. But since then, I don't know if you saw it, there was a show on earlier in the year called Celebrity Stars and Their Doubles with Dale Winton.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and there was... there was a Brent lookalike on. Sure, yeah. Spitting image of me. Won the award in his category. Just a fat bloke. He had a tie, he had a goatee, but he was about 45, about 18 stone. When he went up to get his award off Dale Winton, he actually waddled a little bit. And Dale Winton said, "You even walk like Ricky Gervais." So, yeah, that's the good side of fame, lookalikes. I suppose the only thing that's different is I'm a bit shyer than I was. I used to annoy my friends in public loudly, but now I can't, so... I used to do things like, if I'd been out, you know, at a bar with a mate, and we'd get a cab home, and he'd drop me off, and he'd have to go on with the cab. Just as I was getting out, I'd shout to the cab driver, "He's going to see that bastard." And I'd just walk away, and he'd have to spend the rest of the journey thinking that I'd have a lover's tiff. So I can't do that anymore, because that'll get in the papers.
So small pleasures to be denied you, eh? But I suppose it's worth it, really. I mean, you think about it. I mean, the trip to America, I mean, you won 2 Golden Globes. I mean, one's good enough, but 2 never been heard of before. Best show, best comedy performance.
Yeah, I thought we were there to make up the numbers, really.
Did you really? Did you think
I did,
that?
yeah. And I was with, you know, rubbing shoulders. Not literally, they get annoyed if you do that. But with Tom Cruise and Sylvester Stallone. I mean, from a distance, I was going, "There's Tom Cruise." Apparently, I don't know if this is true, I hope it is, I've heard it from a few reports, that when we went up to get our award, Clint Eastwood turned to someone that he was with and went, "Who the fuck are they?"
Yeah. Well, you showed them.
Yeah.
You showed who you were.
Didn't we look like a motley crew? Everyone else there's just the right height, great teeth, tans. We just like something you'd paid a shilling to see in a tent 100 years ago.
And what about America itself? I mean, it's a great country to be a success in, of course, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you took up the offer to appear in A-List, didn't you?
J.J. Abrams is the creator of it, and he sent over some copies of it, and I thought it was really good. It's sort of like a really sort of trendy sort of music based action. It's sort of like Mission Impossible meets Jane Bond, and I thought that'd be fun. And it was a baptism of fire.
Why?
It was the opposite of The Office. The Office, we do sort of 10-hour days, and you know, it's all acting. You know, there's no lighting or rigging. It's just, you know, film it when you come. And that is like that was a 14-hour days, which I was moaning. Who am I? I'm over there moaning already. I'm going, oh, we haven't had lunch yet. Who is this? And it's like you get 2 takes, and it's so expensive. Like, you know, those abseils are long as a car crash, and I have to do my line. I'm just worried that I'll screw it up, and I have to go again, get another truck in. And I was just so terrified. And for the first 2 days, I couldn't stop laughing at the serious faces, because they all look like that. And I go, sorry. Director going, Jesus Christ, look at this, what's that? And everyone else was dressed in Armani and black leather, and they put me on a chunky knit sweater. Honestly, I looked like Giles Brandreth had wandered into a Vogue shoot. It looked...
What do you make of it, though? I mean, other things that you observed about it. I mean, you're on a diet at present. I mean, it's not the place to diet, is it? I mean, the food there is... Are
you taking the piss?
Well, no, I'm not. Listen, you are. I mean, when I saw you tonight walking...
This happened before. I went on Des O'Connor. Des O'Connor, for the first time in 40 years, insulted me. Why do I bring out in these icons?
Well, it's an insult to say that you're on a diet.
Well, I'm not on a diet.
But then how do you account for this sylph-like figure that you have now?
He's taking the piss. I'm not. I I don't believe
I
it.
thought you looked like Ewan McGregor when you came on, didn't you? Yeah, there you are, you see. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this is the embarrassing thing. I actually work out 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Just think what I'd look like if I didn't. I go jogging. You know, I was jogging the other day, so it's true. I run round where I live, and sometimes I run down where I used to work at the University of London Union. And I was running the other day, and I had my sort of iPod on. They're brilliant iPods, by the way. I could do with another one. And I'm running along, and when I get to where I used to work, on the wall there's a guy I used to work with about 10 years ago. And I thought, oh, I was just getting ready. I didn't want to say, oh, you still here, or something. And so I thought, he looked at me and he sort of clocked me. And I thought, oh, I better stop and say it. I didn't know him that well, but this is what happened. I sort of ran up to him and I went like this. I went, oh, all right? And he went, yeah, good. I went, oh. It wasn't him. And he was thinking, so the reason he looked sort of a bit surprised, I thought, that's the bloke off the telly running down past my studio. I knew it wasn't him, because if it had been him, he'd be 10 years older as well, and he was about 18. What was he thinking? He must have thought, one, it's like a hidden camera stunt. Yes. 2, he must have worked it out, oh, he thought I was someone else. Or 3, he probably thought I was out picking up rent boys and backed out at the last... Or 4, he thought I'd just go around trying to be recognised. Hi, it's me. This is how I got out of it, OK? So
right.
I ran along, I see him, I clock him, I go... I clock him, I go... And that's the best I could come up with. So if he's watching this, that's what happened.
What's all this too about you and Slough at present as well? There's nonsense about they can't let office space in Slough now because of the bad reputation that you gave it through your portrayal of Slough in The Office.
This is going to be another Muhammad Ali. You carry on.
No. Another Muhammad
You're picking
Ali.
on easier targets now, aren't you?
Absolutely.
No, well, one, I don't believe you do any damage with a TV show. I don't think it...
They said so. I mean, the people who let office space there...
Well, 2, I don't... You know, you never know. That might be exaggerated by the press. 3, I don't care. I never need to go there. I don't think it makes a lot of difference, you know.
When you're making the Office, did anybody ever say to you, well, maybe Slough's not that bad?
They did. After the first series went out, someone from Slough, it might have been the council or something, I don't want to lie with them, but it was someone from Slough. They phoned at the BBC and they said, you know, Slough's changed a lot. And they said, you know, there's lots of things that we'd like to show you how it's changed. And they said, you know, we know you're doing another series. We know we don't want to co-write it or anything, but if we could look over the script. What do they expect to do? Like, put little bits in? Like, I'm talking to Gareth and I go, Gareth, come in. I love the pedestrianisation of the city centre. Anyway.
Now, the question is, of course, when you do something as successful as The Office has been, how do you follow it up? And you're following it up with something called The Extras.
Extras, yeah. And it's not a fake documentary. That's too hard. I play an extra who's, you know, thinks he's the greatest actor in the world, but just hasn't had the break. And it's basically looking at the world behind TV each week. I'm on a different TV show or maybe a film, and I see the back of...
But where did the idea come from, the extras? Have you done extra work yourself?
I think it's a fascinating world of what goes into it, because, like, for example, on The Office, we didn't use extras as such. We used real actors and used them as extras, because they were there all the time. You know, we didn't bust them in. It was... They actually said they felt like they were working in an office for, like, 7 weeks. They came in at 8. They sat... Some of them were doing real work, like phone lines, seriously, doing scripts, and then they were called upon and they could do the lines.
I suppose being as sort of famous and rich as you are now, you can say to companies, well, I'll just sort of do it in my own time, really. I mean, I'll take a year or two about this.
I did that the first time round.
Did you?
Yeah. They thought, who's this fat 40-year-old telling us what to do? I think I intimidated them because I was bigger than them. Yeah, there's just no rush. I think that's when the quality goes down, when you've got deadlines, or whether you know, they offer you obscene amounts to do a 3rd, 4th, 5th series. Yes. And I've seen people take the money and run before, and I think shame on them. So I didn't want people to sort of think that of us. So, and I'm lazy. It looks like integrity, it's not.
Well, it is, you say lazy, but what you've got out now is a book of creatures called Flanimals, which you've been working on since you finished doing The Office. I mean...
No. I've been working on that since I was about 16.
Have you?
Yeah. So I was doing it to make my nephew laugh, and then I thought, hold on, I can rake in anything now. I'm hot at the moment. I said to someone, right, colour them in. Stick it in a book.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of them. They are very weird creatures, and maybe tell us more about you than about them.
That's the plan glottis.
That's a what?
Taslow epiglug is the Latin name.
Yes.
That creature is actually born without feet, so it actually has to swallow its hands to walk on them to find food. But when it gets there, it can't eat because its mouth's full, so it dies.
Next.
That's the underblenge, or echinoplungederma. That creature there, that's got the strongest suckers of any creature, and it kills its prey by sticking to their face and suffocating them to death. But it can't catch prey because it can't move from the rock it was born on.
So it's fairly useless, really.
Useless.
OK, move on.
Clunge ambler.
Yes.
That's the clunge ambler. That's a sweaty little waddle gimp who tries to cuddle things, but because it smells, other Flanimals beat it up and bury it. Nature's cruel.
Where do they come from, these creatures?
See, there's nothing stranger than fact. There is no creature you can invent that is stranger than a sea slug or an elephant. So you have to go outside logic to really, you know, make something genuinely weird.
Yes.
And also, I was always fascinated with nature and the cruelty of nature. I remember when I used to watch wildlife films, I didn't like it when the lion actually caught the antelope, but I wanted to be brave when I was sort of 8 or 9. And I remember convincing myself, it's OK, this is a film, so the animal's already dead and out of its misery. And I had to sort of philosophise. And I remember asking my mum, I said, why don't the people filming it help the antelope? And she said, oh, you can't interfere with nature. And I'm thinking, let's see it turn on David Attenborough.
What about doing for your own children? Do you have any plans for how to have kids of your own?
No.
Right.
I can't. All that, it's that first sort of 16 years I don't want. Paying for them and... See, I'd adopt a sort of like 18-year-old lawyer who could start paying me back straight away.